What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Twisted Life of TV. I am Poetry. You are here for PNTV. There's Poetry's News and Twisted Views. Oh, that news was loud, wasn't it? I apologize. Anywho, child, let's see what I got. I don't know if I got good news today. Usually, I have like good news, or I've been trying to get good news for the end of the video. Just try to end on a lighter note. I don't think I got that today. I really don't. Ooh, child. So I'm going to turn this corner. Let me get around this corner first because this is a school zone. I do want to make sure I'm not taking out any kiddies. Actually, you have to say why I was just like, why does the school people not here? But they here. The cross guards, that's what I was thinking of. Okay, come on. So I'm going to start off. There was a big heist at one of the largest historical museums in the world. The Louvre in Paris, France. Is it in Paris, France, or is it just in France? I don't know, child, because I don't really know. I'm not really into Parisian culture, but I believe it's Paris, France, but I know it's France. So the Louvre Museum was robbed of $102 million worth of jewels. Yes, this is not a movie, because I've seen them do it in the movie 1,000 times. This is real life. $102 million worth of jewels was, it was almost a really bad accident just there. $102 million worth of jewels was just stole from the Louvre. They have not determined or figured out a lead. They don't have a lead on who did it. They don't have a lead on where the jewels went. For all they know, they believe that the jewels could have been melted down by now. This melted down makes me believe it's metals, because like usually, diamonds and stuff you can't melt down. But I didn't dig deeper into it. But they haven't been found, child. So somebody out here with $102 million worth of dollars of jewelry that they've melted down possibly, and going to redistribute that wealth in some form or fashion. Now, it sounds like just like the movies. I told y'all, I realized that this current administration has watched entirely too many movies, because they're starting to imitate the art instead of art imitating life. I've been watching the Purge movies. I'm on the third one now, and man, it's so applicable to today's politics. You can see how they are interwoven. You would think the movie was created based off of this time, but since they actually was created back in 2013-14, the administration damn sure got to be, following the movies. And that's what this Louvre situation sound like. Somebody pulled off one of the biggest heists in the Louvre's history in 2025, child. Now, speaking of history, Dumb Donald is burning down the house, honey. He's tearing down the house because, he might set it on fire. He turned down the house. Now, he is destroying, over the weekend, has destroyed a national monument, a historical monument called the White House. There was video out there showing that he has completely bulldozed down the east wing of the White House. Now, what? Same motherfucker, you almost hit the other person. Now, what? I'm very late, y'all. What I've been able to forget what the fuck I was talking about. Shit. Oh, I got my notes in my hand. The Louvre. I mean, not the Louvre. We did the Louvre. The White House. How he turned down the White House. He's turned up the east wing. It was being demolished. They had big cranes and bulldozers out there demolishing it. Now, my thing is, I thought all my life I have been led to believe that the White House is considered a museum. Not only is it considered a museum, it's supposed to be protected by the historic preservation, but I don't know, he probably fired that department. He got rid of they are maintained by the Parks and Recreation. And the Parks and Recreation did get laid off. I think 75% of their employees got laid off. So there's nobody out here checking on his ass. You know what I'm saying? There's supposed to be certain type of provisions that protect historical monuments such as the White House. Now, the thing is, y'all let that motherfucker tear out the Rose Garden and pave it with concrete a few years ago, and that shit went unchecked. That's what the problem is. That went unchecked. Nobody said nothing. I know you gotta have permits to build and or tear down anywhere. There has to be have permits been applied for. I ain't heard nothing about no permit being applied for. He just bulldozed this shit during the No Kings protest weekend. Because it just wasn't a day, it was a whole weekend. And while everybody was seemingly distracted, he turned up the fucking White House. I mean, it looked a mess. And I wondered who doing it. Because black folks built that bitch. You know what I'm saying? You know, after it was destroyed by fire the first time, the black folks rebuilt that motherfucker. And looking anywhere in the United States right now, if you get a construction team out there, the foreman may be white, but the rest of them are immigrants. And you deporting all them motherfuckers, who building it? Who is tearing down this White House and gonna rebuild it? This is where he's gonna put his $240 billion or $1 million, is it billions? Ballroom, 90,000 square feet ballroom. He tore out the whole fucking East Wing. Now, I've never toured the White House. I don't know what exists in the East Wing, but I know it's part of a fucking museum. It should be protected. Hell, we couldn't do shit in my old neighborhood because it was considered to be a historic district. This is a historic fucking building. I know some people like good riddance. Some people know or neutral about it, don't have an opinion about it, don't care about it one way or the other. But our ancestors built that shit. They put their blood, fucking sweat, and tears into that motherfucker. And it's a symbol, or it's a great metaphor of what they're doing to this fucking country. They are tearing it down piece by piece, and it's being permitted. It's being allowed. That's why it's so fucking significant to me. Speaking of shitting on, did I say something about? Yeah, speaking of shitting on people. Okay, so the No Kings protest happened this weekend. Over 7 million people is reported to have attended in over 27 different states. One of the biggest protests that this nation has seen, they stated. Now that $7 million, the $7 million, not dollar, that 7 million number of people, again, that was just the United States. We had people all over the world. I saw South Korea. I saw Milan. They were in the UK protesting no kings when they have a fucking king. I thought that was such ironic pettiness that I loved it. Okay. China. Was it in China? Yeah, that was in China. There was a protest there as well. The No Kings rally protest is there as well. Protest was breaking out all over the place. So after the protest happened, Dumb Donald was in his feelings. He always is. You know, the news media has allowed them to call the protesters terrorists, has allowed them to call the protesters, what is else they call the communist. You know, this is Dumb Don's way of saying he will take us out. Because in his mind, if he considers you a terrorist, then he has the right to off you. Okay. So this is why they're spreading that narrative and making peaceful protesters, motherfuckers dressed up in bunny suits and T-Rex outfits, saying that they are, you know, rioters and stuff like that. And we've already know that they have, at least in Portland, they had sent out infiltrators into the crowd. They always have these infiltrators into the crowd who created a riot along with the agents that was there, the fake agents that was there. They created riots. So the law enforcement officials and other agents that were there, could attack the protesters. They was pushing them back and cornering them into zones in order to attack the protesters. Now, again, if I'm not mistaken, in Portland, Oregon, up until the No Kings rally, the main protests were at or around the ICE facilities. So there was no big major demonstrations. You know, they're lying and saying buildings were being burnt down. They weren't. They are using old footage and creating a false narrative that the event is happening right now. Or we do that. We don't have nobody in front of us where we're going this slow. We seen footage come up from different countries that they are using here in America in stating that this happened right this weekend. It's fake. Fake. And speaking of fakeness, Dumb Don, their president in chief, put out an AI generated video of him in a king's crown flying a fighter jet to Kenny Loggins' No Danger Zone. You know, that was played in what movie was that? Top Gun? Yeah. He's riding along over the different No Kings protests and literally shitting on people's heads. This is what the leader of the free world is doing. Creating AI generated videos. That's what I'm saying. It's a fucking child or somebody with a childlike mind. Somebody with a childlike mind who is creating who is running his social media account. What's his face ain't that crafty. You can't make me believe that the dumb Don is that fucking crafty. That he thought up that idea. That was somebody else. Now the thing that gets me most, the fuck is wrong with people today? The thing that gets me most is that the repubs and the news media out there mad as hell. These protesters out here doing a No Kings protest. Do y'all want a king? Is that what you're saying? What you mad about a No Kings protest for if we don't want a fucking king? Our democracy is not ran by a damn king. Are y'all suggesting that is what you want? Look, you son of a bitch made motherfucker, you. I'm tired of you. Oh, we finna get stopped. We are finna get blocked by this damn fire truck. Go save the world, but damn it, I'm gonna be super duper late for work. Be super duper late for work. Let me pause and then call my boss. Okay, y'all, I've called my job. Let them know my current status of where I am as far as traffic is concerned. I don't know where the hell I was at. Oh, we was talking about the AI generated video. Kenny Loggins, the one who created the song Danger Zone that he used in the video, has came out and slammed him for using his music, stating that he's pissed off about it because that's all he's doing is trying to divide the country more. His only purpose was to divide the country. I don't think that he was trying to divide the country with that, Mr. Loggins. I really don't. I mean, I appreciate your sentiment, but what he was trying to do is to show America that he literally is shitting on us. That's what he was doing. He was giving us a visual example of him shitting on America and that he believes that he himself is indeed a king. Motherfucker got the nerve to put himself in a fucking fighter jet and he a goddamn Dodge draft. I said that backwards. Draft Dodger. Frustration making me speak sometime. Oh, okay. So, So all this stuff is going on. I think I mentioned it before about how I did in the last PNTV, how a lot of foreign dignitaries were losing their visas because they won't align with his ass. Well, um, the Venezuelan and the Colombian government has requested that an investigation be launched into those strikes on those boats because they have yet to produce any type of drugs that was supposed to be coming out of those boats or they were supposed to be carried on those boats. They have not produced any type of evidence to state that any of the people on the boats, the employees on the boats, were drug dealers or affiliated with drug cartels. There happened to be two survivors, one who was a Venezuelan citizen, one who was a Colombian citizen. And the U.S. military had them in their custody and are deporting them to their home countries. Since when we let criminals go? I mean, Donald Trump has always done that. He's been doing that a lot lately. He pardoned George Santos. He's about to consider a pardon for Diddy. I told y'all he was going to do that. Ghislaine Maxwell. He's about to consider a pardon for her. I told you he was going to do that too. Yeah. So the Colombian president is now being threatening to have his visa revoked as well, and that's because he's been speaking out against Trump, and Trump says that he too lippy. That's a good word to say. He too lippy. He talked too much about America in a negative way. So they're threatening to revoke his visa. He's also asking the Department of Justice to give him $230 million for investigating him. Now, sir, when they investigated you, they found enough evidence and able to indict your ass. It's just that our punk pussy ass government did not actually put you in jail. They didn't sentence you to jail, which they should have. They should have under the motherfucking jail. So, but he's saying, so now he wants the DOJ to pay him $230 million. With this current Department of Justice, I wouldn't be surprised if they do it. I wouldn't be surprised if they do it. Melania said she was going to sue, what's his name? Wolf. I can't think of Wolf's first name. The one who exposed that, she was with Epstein, and Epstein was the one that introduced her to Donald Trump. Yeah. He also had put it in his book, but he went on the podcast and talked about it. She wants to sue him for $1 billion for defamation. Now, it was just a threat. It was just a threat. I don't think she actually pursued, as far as I know, she didn't actually pursue it. But Wolf came back and said, I got you, bitch. I'm going to raise you too. So now he is countersuing her ass, or he's actually suing her because I don't think she actually did the suit. He is suing her for a large sum of money. Do I have the exact amount? I didn't put the exact amount in. But he's now Michael Wolf. He's gonna sue Melania. He actually did the litigation for that shit. Said, you gonna come out here and talk shit about me? And she's trying to stop him from talking about her and Epstein. And he's like, I'm speaking facts, bitch. I'm gonna sue you though. Okay, so now he's suing her. Yeah, get their asses. Get their asses. Mike Johnson, bitch ass, is being sued by the state of Arizona for not swearing in that representative. Still. He's still making excuses. Motherfucker on TV every day talking about how he too busy to do it. He ain't got time to do it. Well, you can stop doing all these motherfucking press conferences saying shit that you don't know. Every fucking press conference, I don't know. I never heard it. I never saw it. How the fuck you still got your job if you don't know how to do shit on the damn job? But now he's being sued by the Attorney General of Arizona for not swearing her ass in because she's leaving the, I think it was 1.7 million constituents without representation. And no, we got something to say. There's no taxation without representation. Speaking of that, there have been an increased number of persons who have been changing their tax withholdings because they don't feel like they've been represented by their leadership in their district, in their county, in their state, in this fucking country. So, or they are withholding their federal dollars by changing their W-4 statement. Okay. Now, this is where the issue could come in for a lot of people. The IRS can force you to withdraw withholdings. They can force your employer to withdraw the withholding for you for a maximum of 10%. Now, as a former IRS employee, I've been unemployed by them for the last 5 years, so I can speak on these shits right here. They won't do that for 5 years, y'all. You have to have 5 consistent years. Why is my phone ringing? Oh, it's my boss. Let me answer my phone. Okay, so I'm not actually going into the office, but I am officially on the clock right now. They wanted me to actually go and take care of some stuff outside of the office first. I'm talking about Mike Wolf. I was talking about them suing Mike Johnson, the Attorney General of Arizona, is suing Mike Johnson. Okay, he has no reason not to swear this lady in. No, talking about we'll do it when the government open back up. But he keep going in. That's a red light. Oh, good God. He keep going in saying, don't come to work. Told the Republicans not to show back up until after October 26th. Now, with this in mind, people who are receiving SNAP benefits, food stamps, they are going to be affected by this shutdown. The FDA has said that if this shutdown extends past October 27th, which is the day after Johnson told the Republicans not to come to work, that they would not be able to distribute SNAP benefits in the month of November. This is the only presidential administration in history that has allowed food benefits to be cut off from United States citizens. And this is the second time. Because when he was in the last 21-day shutdown, had the same threat coming. They just agreed. Oh, no, it was a 35-day shutdown. The same threat was an issue, and they just happened to negotiate it before it happened. But in this particular case, if they have not reopened the government by the 27th, which I doubt they will, they are going to be able. They are not going to be able to issue SNAP benefits. There are certain cities who are beefing up the food pantries to help provide provisions for citizens who are affected. There are some areas that are already doing food banks for federal employees. All the federal employees that have been laid off, that are out of work, they have food banks specifically set up just for them to come get food and provisions during this hard time. So they're going to be ramping up the food banks for all, so they can kind of counter some of these measures, because what we want to do is not falter. When you hit people in their stomach, in their wallets, that makes people waver a little bit. That makes people want to give in. That's why they starve people out, when they put them in captivity. They try to break them down. They keep you in. They trying to investigate you, or they trying to question you in the police department. They'll keep you from food for such a long time. They'll try to break your ass down. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to try to starve out Americans. So we can say, just give it to them. Give it in. Try to prevent that from happening. So Governor Gavin Newsom is going to allow the National Guard troops to be deployed in California. But they are going to be deployed specifically to help out at these food banks. Way to go, Governor Newsom. Okay? And there's other cities I know that's hopping on board with such efforts. Up in Portland, Oregon, the general that's over the National Guard troops, he said, what's not going to happen here, my troops are not going to be attacking American citizens. He's going to allow them, because the court said the troops can be deployed into Portland. What he says, okay, they can be deployed, but they're going to be deployed out there to protect the United States citizens protesting. And that's on that. That's what he said. I'm so glad some of these state leaders and military leaders as well are finally stepping the fuck up. I, again, still don't understand, still don't get why quitting is the solution. I know a lot of military leaders decided to walk out and quit because of that little Pentagon meeting that they had. That's not helping anybody. What will help us is for you to be there and command your fucking troops in the way in which you're supposed to, by following the fucking Constitution. Okay? Speaking of the No Kings Parade protest, I'm sorry, I'm eating. Oh, y'all right by the mic, and I'm chewing loud as hell in this mic. Hold on. Granola bar. My mayor. I got two of them. Brandon Johnson and Zoran Mamdani. Those both my mayors in cities that I don't even live in. But I will visit often. So, Brandon Johnson, mayor of Chicago, spoke at the No Kings protest, No Kings rally, along with a lot of prominent leaders in different cities. I think Bernie spoke, and had a lot of different people speaking in their respective cities. But his is the one that made the most impact for me. So he talked about back in the day how Chicago became a black metropolis because they was able to provide safety against the slave patrols. So they became a haven for black people to go to for safety. The city is still very diverse. There's a lot of Russians there. There's a lot of Mexicans there. There's a lot of blacks there. Right? It's a very diverse city. I like Chicago. Not just because it's down the street from my old home, but I like Chicago. Don't like y'all driving, but I like Chicago. He said that there was this organization that was formed to protect people against the slave patrols, which is basically what ICE is emulating or mocking or trying to be. And he, along with the, I want to say, an alderman, are starting their organization again. They are going to reform that organization in order to protect the citizens of Chicago. I hope that spreads like fucking wildfire. He also said at this in his speech that he is calling on a general strike. Baby, the way I sat up in my seat, like, what's up? What we talking about? What we doing? He wants for us as citizens to fight back with our dollars. The general strike consists of a nationwide work stoppage and a nationwide spending strike. And I'm like excited and I'm gleeful. And then I got concerned. Like people's livelihoods are already being consumed by this current administration. We don't know where our dollar is going to come from next or if we're going to go into work and actually have a job. But, however, I don't want to say but, I want to say however, that's how change happens. We may have to struggle just a tad bit Scotia day for the greater good of the people. With so many people being laid off and so many people, in threat of losing their jobs or what have you, we got enough people right now who could initiate that call. I do know that there's a few organizations that have already begun trying to gather folks for this call before Mayor Brandon already said it. He stated, there's a protest on November 22nd for Do Not Spend, Black Friday. Do not spend. Somebody asked for it to be extended to the whole weekend because, they fall on Monday is Cyber Monday. Do not spend that entire weekend. And then somebody said we need to make a deeper impact. This needs to be ongoing. We need to follow the model of Black people in Target. I know some of y'all have swayed and went back. I told y'all before, been sitting y'all damn Target halls and shit like that. But they're extending it for 10 days. No work, no spending, no movement for 10 days. No travel for 10 days. Can we do it? I would love to believe that we could. Our elders marched. The Montgomery boycott lasted for a long damn time. We should be able to collectively get together. We should be able to collectively get together and make it happen for 10 days. We already got people changing their W-4s. Did I finish that conversation? I was talking about the W-4s and the tax exempt status. You basically what you do, you change your W-4 to tax exempt so they can't withhold federal taxes from you. My state doesn't do federal taxes, state taxes anyway. So I'm not concerned with the state. I don't know where these people going. I'm not concerned with the state. I gotta see something real quick. I'm gonna put you on pause while I go to my job. Okay, y'all, I'm back. I don't know what the hell I was talking about. Child, I don't know what I was talking about. People getting sued. Talked about Mike Wolf. Talk about Mike Johnson being sued. Talked about Melania. Who else been sued? Oh, I was talking about the governor, the mayor, about the movement, the economic boycott movements. So, if I remember when I get home, I'll drop down in the comment section all the different organizations who are putting together different type of economic boycotts and see if you want to get involved. Okay. So, a few days ago, they released a few more of the Epstein Files. Still not everything. Mike Johnson is claiming now that if a vote came to the floor, he would allow the vote to go through. But again, he has yet to swear in one of the representatives who, I don't think y'all even understand. One of the representatives who is supposed to be she's signing off the 218 signature to say, yes, we can vote on the Epstein Files. That's all her signature is doing. It's not saying, yes, release the files. It's saying, yes, allow us to vote on it. That's all she's the 218 signature for. But now he's saying that vote came to the floor, that he will allow it. We shall see. Only name that they have released so far, they are so focused on telling everybody that Bill Clinton was there. We already been made aware that Bill Clinton was on the plane. But that's the only thing they focusing on. They keep saying, I heard Michael Johnson say too that Bill Clinton was more of a friend to Jeffrey Epstein than Donald Trump ever was. That's the narrative they're trying to push now. Focus on Bill Clinton, not on Trump. Because there was somebody that came out and they were saying, there was a lot of people who went to the parties or who went to the island, but they didn't have knowledge of what was going on. And this person, damn, I can't remember who it is. I got it saved in my Instagram file. This person said that's a damn lie. That everybody knew what was going on because Jeffrey Epstein made it his business to show everybody because he was so proud of what he was doing. So anybody that was there was aware. And there's a lot of people on both sides of the fence, Democrat, Republican, or just regular celebrities, without knowing their political affiliation, that was there. Just like when motherfuckers talking about they was at the Diddy party, but they didn't see shit. I ain't never believed that. You saw something. Something made you uncomfortable enough to leave. Because they was like, I left. Why'd you leave? Because there was a whole lot of something going on. That's what it was. Whole lot of something going on. So I just wonder that once these files get released, what is going to happen to the people who's on them? I believe that Pam Bondi's on it. Come on, you dumb motherfucker, you. I believe that Pam Bondi is on it. And she may have been on it as a youth. I believe that Christy Norm may have been on it as a youth. She's already had a history of sexual assaults that she talks about. But yeah, I think that she may be on it as well. Or she may have been a victim of one of the names. But one of the victims is speaking out, child. One of the victims is speaking out. One of the victims is saying that she wrote a memoir. And in her memoir, she says she knows the names that's on the files. And I appreciate people who say they know it and they're going to release it and they're going to expose it. Do it. I'm really sick of them using these victims' experiences for political fodder. Release the fucking names and let the shit roll downhill, is what I'm saying. Release them. Why the fuck are we all the way back here, sir? I'm trying to get around this person. And I can't. I don't know if I was in the wrong or not, but me and the gentleman both pulled out at the same time. Anyhow, so this video is long because I've broke it down into so many pieces. I feel like, fuck it, I might as well just go through everything. I only got 2 pages. Usually I have like 3. Okay, so we got the heist at the Louvre. We got the ballroom, the shitting on the citizens, him suing the DOJ. Oh, the peace deal. The peace deal that he struck up between Israel and Hamas, it done fell through. Well, I already knew it was. That whole peace deal was just efforts for him to try to get a Nobel Peace Prize. Again, he is competing with Obama. Everything Obama did, everything Obama got, he want to have too. So he only brokered that so-called fucking deal in the attempt to get a Nobel Peace Prize. Well, since the ceasefire supposedly started, Israel has struck Palestine at least 4 more times. They're blaming it on Hamas, saying Hamas struck first, but there has been no evidence that Hamas has struck Israel. The only evidence they've shown is that Israel continuously attacks Hamas. I knew that shit wasn't going to last because I didn't think it was an actual deal in the first fucking place. And the crazy thing about it, the so-called peace deal that he negotiated was the exact same peace deal that Joe Biden had negotiated. The exact same one that Dumb Don told the Republicans not to agree on because he wanted to use it in the election. It was the exact same one. There's like a lot of infrastructure programs going on right now that began under Joe Biden's administration that Trump has literally went to the sites and had the names removed and saying this project was funded by the Dumb Dumb, which it wasn't. It's a project started by Biden. Okay. Where else am I going? SNAP benefits, the food banks being set up by the different governors, the protests, 7 million worldwide, other economic protests, Portland and the troops and the general. Oh, so I also forgot to talk about in the last video, the Young Republicans group chat that was exposed. I wonder who the people keep exposing me. I think that's great. That group chat that was exposed. Hold on for a second. Hold on for a second. All right, y'all. I'm over in one of my neighborhoods. And then put my badge away. And get clearance to come through their gates, their property. You can see all these nice, big, juicy homes. I think I showed y'all this once upon a time during like Christmas. These big ass homes, and they be super decorating, baby. A lot of people already start putting out decorations. They ain't even wait for fucking Halloween. It's disrespectful. Okay, so yeah, in this Republican group chat, they call them the Young Republicans. The Young Republicans are from age 18 to 40. So in the group chat, they are stating a lot of racist and hateful and conversation, bigotry, misogyny, NZ. I'm gonna call it NZ. Have I already said it before? NZisms. Okay, and so they have been exposed for that, about how they want to harm Black people and things of that nature. And our vice president came out and said, it's just kids. First of all, they grown ass men. Okay, grown ass men, but it's just kids, and these kids are just making jokes. Hanging Black folks is a joke. They want to be Hitler Jr. is a joke, is what he's saying. These are young Republicans who are posing or attempting to get into the political arena. And this is the type of conversations they're having with each other. Ha ha ha. Jokey jokey, according to JD Vance, joke ass. He's a fucking joke. That's who's the fucking joke, is JD fucking Vance. So immediately after, I want to say the following day after this was exposed, there was a Republican aide doing some type of video or some sort, and behind him on the wall was an American flag with the swastika in the center of it. Now, the man he's the aide for, I can't remember the name, I didn't write it down, came out and said, oh, no, that such thing isn't happening on my watch. Let me investigate. You know, they investigate themselves and find themselves not guilty all the time. And of course, it is a damn joke. Also, somebody set them up, you know, something like that. But it's a joke. And they were set up. It couldn't have been on their watch. He didn't even notice that big ass flag in the back of him. I mean, it was so clear. It was clearly identifiable. These are the people that we have in office right now. Look, this is to say, a reminder. The November 4th election is about to happen in a lot of places. Keep your fucking eye on the people who are running for office. Some of them, and these young Republican types, they're Heritage Foundation types. I told y'all that they would set up a whole organization, an academy. They having a fucking academy down there telling them how to infiltrate into government, how to get into politics. Some of these motherfuckers are coming under the guise of being a Democrat or being a progressive, something of that nature. They're under the guise of that just to get your fucking vote, to get them in office. Because they know a lot of people are just going to vote straight Democrat. Pay attention to what they're doing. Down in North Carolina, people are standing up. A lot of the leaders are standing up, and they're saying too, watch what the fuck they're doing. I think one of them quoted and said that I don't have to worry about what you're doing. I don't trust what you do, what you say, because I can watch what you do. Something along that lines. Something along that lines. Where am I at? Okay. All right. That was a quick drive-through inspection through that neighborhood. I can't see on the street. Is this dude blocking traffic?
Sorry, I'm having trouble understanding you.
That's because I ain't fucking talking to you. Okay. Hold on for a second. All right, we inspect this area. Trying to get around where I need to be. Oh, right here. Right here. That's where I need to be. Where I need to be. Oh, hold on. All right, y'all. I'm back again. Hopefully I can round this out this time. Yeah. So, peace deal. I think that's the last thing I was talking about. And I was saying that it was only evidence of violations that Israel had been violating the peace deal. And on the Ukraine-Russia war, Putin and Trump has announced that they are allies to one another. There was a meeting that they had together, and you know how we as Americans, we are not down with Putin. And Putin gave a speech. It says that, you know, we are not enemies, we are allies. When the fuck did America become allies with Russia? I mean, well, from what we all know, they have been allies, Trump specifically and Putin, since back in the day. They helped him rig the election when he ran against Obama, and I believe that they have been continuously a part of the American politics since. But actually, prior, there was a documentary that I had watched before on YouTube that explained the connection of Trump's family and how he was specifically selected by Russia in order to make deals with the United States. So yeah, that has been long going, but they have officially announced it in a press conference that was held the other day. Um, let's see, he's creating more beef. I think I was talking about this before with the Venezuelan government and now the Colombian government. He's creating more beef with our Caribbean neighbors and have sent war vessels into Puerto Rico to infiltrate the Caribbean Sea and sent CIA operatives to infiltrate Venezuela looking for drugs, I'm assuming, because it ain't weapons of mass destruction. You know, at least they sold us on that lie last time that it was weapons of mass destruction. It ain't even that. It's fentanyl, which apparently is not even produced in Venezuela. Um, that's not one of their niches. But yeah, that's supposedly what they're doing. And um, so he's trying to start an all-out war with Venezuela. And I think Colombia one is already going to back them. I think Cuba is going to back them as well. And China may even jump on board to back them as well. And I can't say that I'm mad at them because Dumb Don is starting shit with them. Unnecessary shit that is going to involve the American people and our soldiers, our Marines, our sailors, our airmen dying in another senseless war. But he was supposed to be the stopper of wars, right? Okay, so I talked about the SNAP benefits under threat, food banks being stocked up, the guard being distributed for assistance with food, the No Kings Parade, the general nationwide strike, the smaller economic strikes and boycotts, Portland troops. I talked about that. I talked about the young repubs, the flag, and Paul Ingrassia. You know, he was nominated by Trump to lead the Office of Special Counsel. He withdrew his nomination due to a lack of sufficient Republican votes. Basically, he got a lot of backlash about some racist and inflammatory text that he made. Comments about a Nazi streak, disparagement of Black culture, the holidays, Black people, and it led to opposition from a lot of Republican senators and John Thune, who is the Senate Majority Leader. So the White House has confirmed that Ingrassia is no longer the nominee following these developments, but they are already embedded into our political system. People with this mindset. I did see on the news that Jack Smith, he started speaking out. Obama is doing a lot more press conferences and town halls, and he just did a podcast with Governor Newsom. I haven't watched it yet. I talked about Virginia Guiffre and her memoir, and they need to release the fucking names. Talk about Mike Wolf, Melania suing her, Mike Johnson being sued. TikTok creator, who is also and a U.S. Marshal, were shot by ICE. ICE was deploying rounds into a civil protest, and the LA TikTok creator, was shot. ICE is claiming that the bullet ricocheted and hit him in the elbow, and there was a U.S. Marshal. I'm not sure in what capacity he was there. If he was there against the protesters or if he was there marching with the protesters, but he was also shot in the hand during this same protest. Carlitos Ricardo Paredes is the LA TikToker who was shot by the federal agents. It says during arrest. They weren't, I don't know who they supposed to be arresting. So, New York, Texas, North Carolina, California, and some other states, you have an election coming up on November 4th. I want to say Florida's included in there too. Have an election coming up on November 4th. Get out and vote. Some of the most, majority of these states are gerrymandering the districts. We just got North Carolina doing it again. We know that Missouri already did it. We know that Texas already did it. And California is proposing Prop 50 to ask the constituents, can they gerrymander? So that way we could turn California mainly blue and counteract some of these red states gerrymandering the votes. Basically, if you don't understand what gerrymandering is, at this particular time, it's where the congressional leaders rezone different districts or different areas in order to slant the vote in their behalf. So let's say, for example, let's use my wallet. Use my wallet. This right here is a blue district. This right here is a red district. Okay. I picked this one as the blue district because there's a lot of diversity there. So what they were doing, this is comprised of 3 districts. This is comprised of 3 districts, let's put it that way. They are rezoning the areas. So this district can consume this district can consume this district can consume this or part of that district, making this now all red. Because by numbers, the sheer number of people will outweigh the people that are remaining in these districts. So if we got mainly Republicans here and this mainly Republicans here and this one is mixed, it's diverse. There's Republicans, Dem, and independents, what have you, and they take all the repubs and add it to this area, it will outweigh, because this is a mix of voters who tend to lean blue because of the sheer numbers, but they're going to eliminate some of those numbers by rezoning. That's what they're doing. That's all I got on my list, child. I don't know how many videos I got to clip together. It's probably about 5 or 6. I don't know how many times I cut it off on y'all. But as I was saying, the November 4th elections, get out and vote. Get out and vote. We got a heated contested election going on with the New York City mayoral race. They just had a debate the other day with Curtis Sliwa, Zoran Mamdani, and Andrew Cuomo. And Sliwa and Mamdani combined just slaughtered Andrew Cuomo. He did a lot of deflecting, a lot of deflecting in what like most politicians do in order to prevent answering questions about the actual policies. He was so focused on trying to make Zoran Mamdani look like a terrorist and a communist. There was one point during that initial debate that Curtis Sliwa was like, "Excuse me, have y'all forgot about me? I am still in this race too." And he is gaining on Andrew Cuomo. I swear, if he wasn't a Republican, I would actually like Andrew. I mean, not Andrew, Sliwa, because he is comedy gold. He's comedy gold. His policies, though, are shit, though. And he's a fucking liar. He's already admitted that he's a liar, too. Like, when he has his guardian angel type situation thing, right? And I told you I was going to tell y'all a story about him, how he faked his own kidnapping. Well, apparently his guardian angels, they used to go around pretending like they were rescuing people in the city. That's what the guardian angels usually do. Like somebody got their purse snatched and they was able to rush down and get that person, what have you, and get that purse back for that person. The cat gets stuck in the tree. Those type of things, right? Somebody being mugged or whatever. Those type of things. Curtis Sliwa and his guardians claimed that they were, rescuing folks of that nature. Pulling kids that fell into a well and shit like that. Well, they came and said that was all a lie. They was lying about those rescues. They actually admitted it. Curtis Sliwa actually admitted that he was lying. Well, during that time, was it 2012? I think it was 2012. He actually said that he was 1992. 1992. He actually said that he was kidnapped by 3 police officers. Okay. He has since came out and said that whole kidnapping was a lie. The crazy thing was, in April of that year, while riding in a taxi in New York, he was shot at, I think, was he shot? There was a shooting that happened inside the taxi. And he was actually kidnapped after he had already lied earlier that year about being kidnapped. He was actually kidnapped by 2 people who were supposedly part of the crime family, right? So, but that's just saying that, like, his lie brought him karma, and then he got kidnapped for real. And when he tells the story, I don't know why it's funny, but he makes it sound funny because, like, he's lived the life. But I don't know. I was looking forward to him and Mamdani going up against each other, but Andrew Cuomo just won't go away. It's like a bad fucking rash right in between your booty cheeks, and you sweat a lot there. That's what Andrew Cuomo is. But so they just had another debate last night between Zoran and Andrew Cuomo. I don't know if Curtis Sliwa was there or not. I haven't watched the debate. I just saw clips of it. And there was a point in the debate. Usually Zoran Mamdani is smiling. Even when he's debating, he smiles when he talks to you. But in the middle of the doggone debate, he had asked 2 of the survivors of the that had been sexually harassed by Cuomo, would they participate in the politics, right? And they would show up to that debate. And one of the and so Mamdani asked or stated to Cuomo, or he brought up the fact that Cuomo has had 13 sexual allegations against him. Credible allegations against him. He wanted to make sure he made that point. What does he say to those victims? There's one in the audience right now. He's even, like I say, he called to get her gynecological records. He defaming them. And like I said, they're already credible sources. It's already been proven that he did sexually assault or sexually harass these women, these 13 women. And he asked, what did he say to what you got to say about that? You're running for office again with these 13 sexual allegations against you. They're not even alleged because they've already been credibly proven. What you got to say? His deflection went back to Mamdani. It went right back to Mamdani. It's so sad. I see the city really standing up for Zoran Mamdani. What I hope is that the people who aren't standing up right now, that those numbers don't outweigh the people who aren't standing up. Because when it comes to elections, they show up. Maybe I need to pull up a little bit further because people keep riding up on my freaking car. Pull up a little better. So yeah, child. This is a long PNTV. Let me go ahead and piece this video together. And as I said, I was trying to find some good news at the end of the rainbow. And I don't have anything significantly, like pinpointedly good other than get out and vote. We're flipping seats left and right, though. That's a positive thing. Iowa flipped a seat. North Carolina, I think, flipped a seat. And I want to say Florida flipped a seat. I know they flipped one earlier this year. So, yeah. Let's turn it up, turn it out. Peace.